Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Pop-Pop.
I'm Matt.
I'm Colin. I'm Ronnie. I'm Eddie.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys.
And girls.
And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider subscribing because we can grow a lot of stuff on the farm, but one thing we can't grow is this channel without your help.
I had to sing your shoes right before bed. Is it?
And then you driving up. The last time we were over there.
Yeah, I remember. We are here.
The broccoli's doing good.
Yeah, it's doing really good.
A lot of weeds.
Hey, Callie, you want some kohlrabi to eat?
Yes, yes. Yes, I found it.
What'd you find?
A worm.
Oh, you found a worm. You're gonna eat it?
Nope.
Oh. Here you go, Callie.
I just want to take one piece.
Okay. How does it taste?
Good. Nom, 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 nom.
Welcome back, everyone. It's so nice to have you with us today. We're getting our morning started off out here in the fields, and we're getting some kohlrabi picked. A little known fact about kohlrabi, it is Callie's favorite vegetable. She loves eating it out in the fields. The kohlrabi very recently became large enough to harvest, so we're having to do some selective picking as we're out here. We're basically going from stalk to stalk, looking for the larger kohlrabis and taking whatever we can find. Harvesting is pretty self-explanatory, as you've seen. We just pull the kohlrabi out of the ground. We will then slice off the root ball, and then we take off the leaves of the kohlrabi here. We found a lot of our local customers, they're not too big into the leaves. So we just try and clean up the kohlrabi as much as we can, put them in the basket, and then we take them back to the farm market and we sell them. Something that's pretty interesting about kohlrabi, a lot of people will get this confused and assume that it's like a part of the turnip family, but you probably get the idea because of where we're growing this at, that this is actually closely related to broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower. Now, the flavor of kohlrabi is kind of a mix between a cabbage and like a sweet broccoli stem. So if you harvest them when they're younger, like what we're doing right now, they're actually a lot sweeter. And this is kind of what the most amount of people that are picking up kohlrabi are looking for. So we're trying to get these picked off a little younger. Now these newer hybrids of kohlrabi that we're able to plant, they do stay sweeter for longer. So if you do get some larger kohlrabi like what I have in my hand right here, it still will have that young, sweet, tender flavor. But the longer you let these sit out in the field, they will develop a different flavor profile that's not as good as when they're nice and young like this. I'll tell you what, it's a good feeling to see a basket of kohlrabi sitting in the back of the side-by-side. Harvest time is here, and I'm not just out here for some kohlrabi. In this field I'm currently at, we planted a whole bunch of stuff. We planted cabbage, we planted kohlrabi, we were able to get some lettuce planted and kale, but there's something else out here. And that would be broccoli. Look at these broccolis. Wow, we're gonna try and grab 3 baskets to take back to the farm market. These have been selling like hotcakes.
Dad, is it going to rain?
There's a chance of rain this afternoon, but it rained a lot last night. Once we get our broccoli cut, here we like to take off a majority of the leaves, and that is how we sell our broccoli. When they're a little smaller like this, we will bunch them together, so we're trying to keep the stem itself a little bit longer, which with these early broccoli varieties can be difficult because they don't get super tall. Plus we didn't have a lot of moisture until we started irrigating, so they don't have a lot of height to them. But thankfully the broccolis develop beautiful crowns. So we're gonna have no trouble selling this broccoli. As we've already seen, we've moved quite a bit of it. Now, people will say, why don't we take the leaves home and sell them? And we have found in our local area, the leaves don't sell that well. They do have a pretty good flavor. They're kind of just like a mild broccoli flavor, so you can cook them up and eat them that way. But what we have found works for us is leaving the leaves in the fields, and they break down and they act as a fertilizer for a future crop. So it's like composting these leaves back into the field is what we've always done, and it has worked out for us. Another way that you can harvest broccoli is just by taking the crowns themselves. But like I said, we try and leave some stem there so that we can bunch a few together and sell it as kind of a package deal. There you go. Now just walk over and put it in the basket.
Dad, look, I'm helping.
You're doing a great job.
I'm a farmer.
Yeah, you are. You're the 7th generation of farmers born on this farm.
Dad, emperor moth.
Oh, you see an emperor moth?
Can I try and catch one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to.
Oh, never mind. So, do you like broccoli more or kohlrabi more?
Both.
Both? But what would you rather eat?
Broccoli.
Really? But you like eating kohlrabi out in the fields the most, don't you?
But I like eating this when it's cooked.
Yeah.
Because it
Job,
doesn't
high five.
taste good when it's like that.
I like it like this.
Are those the last buckets?
Yep, we got one more basket to fill, and we're done picking broccoli.
Who's coming in the tractor?
Oh, it's either Daniel or Pop-Pop.
Are they not going to run over us?
No, they won't run us over.
Hey, Joe!
It's actually Uncle Joel.
Joe!
You know, it takes a little bit longer to harvest when you bring the little ones with you, but my dad always did it with us growing up, and I think that's one of the things that led me to love farming. So I'm gonna try and imitate what my dad did and bring my kids out here as often as possible so that they can recognize that they're a part of this. The growing stuff is important, the harvesting is important, but being a part of the farm is just as important as working on the farm. And there we have it. The broccoli is harvested for the morning. We were able to get 3 baskets. And trust me when I say this, it was not hard to find this broccoli. It is all over the place. Just look at some of these crowns. For early broccoli, these actually have a lot of nice size to them despite being in such dry weather all the time. We've got 3 different varieties of broccoli out here. This first variety that I was picking, this would be our earliest variety, but the 2 varieties that follow, they're just starting to make crowns right now. So we're gonna be able to pick broccoli for weeks to come. All right, Callie, come on, we gotta head back to the farm, okay? Now we're putting the kohlrabi and the broccoli in the water for two reasons. One, cleans it up, makes it look a little nicer. But two, and probably the more important reason, by putting it in the cool water, it preserves it longer and keeps it fresh. So we'll take this broccoli straight from being picked out in the warm field to a nice water bath into the cooler, and it'll stay really fresh for the customers. Matthew really quickly helped me with washing up the broccoli and the kohlrabi. He is on his way out to the garden though. He is going to get some spring onions picked. And while he does that, I'm gonna put all this stuff inside the farm market and then head down around back and get feeding animals. I was gonna head down and take care of the animals, but Dad is already down there getting the job done. So I'm gonna head out to the garden and help Matt pick.
A big circle, it's a line, and it's
Matthew, what happened to the first patch of onions that was here?
Grammy needed to plant her lima beans, so we picked them all off, and then she planted her lima beans
I
there.
can't believe that. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I do have to say the garden is looking really, really nice. We have a few rows of red beets over here that we got seeded, and you can see how they look. They look absolutely beautiful. Grammy's probably gonna be the one that's most excited about the red beets, but we've got her cylinder beets planted out here. Don't worry, she's got her own special row. A lot of people here can red beets, so we have to raise a ton of them. A ton of red beets. We get so many people showing up to the farm market. We've also got a row of dill out here. Got another row of spinach, and then a whole bunch of beautiful lettuce at the top along with the onions. Everything's been growing beautifully. Now that we're starting to get some rain, it's only gonna help out that much more. Ciao, buddy. I'm throwing. Alrighty. Don't mean to scare you. Currently in greenhouse number 6. I was walking through and looking at everything that we've got planted in here. The strawberries look absolutely gorgeous. I am just going through, and like last video, I'm pulling off the blossoms and the little strawberries that I'm finding so that it encourages the plant to produce more of the plant itself. That's gonna help us to have larger strawberry crops later on rather than putting a lot of energy into producing the strawberries and blossoms. The plant is going to be putting that energy into creating more of the plant. Just helps us with a better long-term harvest. It can feel a little weird, you know, kind of ripping off what we're looking for, those little blossoms and little strawberries, but it's going to pay off. Trust me, it's going to pay off.
This one?
It's that one you're looking at. That one's turning.
This one right here.
There's a lot of big tomatoes right there.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dad? So far, first year trying this, are you liking it?
I didn't get any tomatoes yet.
But it looks like there's tomatoes coming.
Yep.
They look gorgeous. You see that drip line in there? We just haven't got it hooked up yet, but once we get it hooked up, this will be a job we no longer have to worry about, watering strawberries. Greenhouse number 6 is now all taken care of. We got all the strawberries watered and all of the tomatoes. On a serious note, this is where we have to start being a little more careful when it comes to watering. We've got an extremely hot day on our hands. Temperatures in the upper 80s, but it's cloudy and the humidity is skyrocketing. Now with the high humidity, that brings a lot of moisture into the air, and moisture can become a big problem in the greenhouse. We just went through and watered. However, because there's no sunlight, that's gonna mean it takes a little bit longer for all this moisture to get off of these leaves. Now what that could lead to is diseases like mold and other things. So we have to be very, very careful, and that's why it is super important that we keep our fans running inside these greenhouses. If we get too much moisture on our tomatoes or on our strawberries and they start to receive different diseases, that could be a big, big problem, and we could lose a whole crop because of it. So what we've done to combat this is everything we can. We've got our fans running. You can see we've got our sides opened up, and to allow even more airflow, we've opened up the front door. Yeah, we've taken the plastic that we had on the front completely off. It's not gonna get cold at night, so we don't really have to worry about it getting too cold. But this will allow a lot of fresh air to blow through this greenhouse, hopefully drying things off and helping us to fight against disease. And let me just tell you, I would be very, very upset if something happened to all of this stuff. All the hard work that we put into it, and I'm looking forward to those fresh tomatoes, I'm looking forward to those strawberries, and if a disease ruined that on me, I would be a grouchy man. So that's something we have to keep in mind, especially when it comes to our vegetable plants and what we have in the other greenhouses like the mums. But this is why greenhouse setups can be very, very important. We have the greenhouses set up so it allows maximum airflow to push through, and with the large fans in the back, we shouldn't get any disease. But it is a big concern, especially with the weather we're dealing with today. Cloudy and hot. Now that we're all finished off down around back, my next job is gonna be taking me out to the garden. Matthew is currently out there planting some sunflowers, but I am going out there because I need to run the rototiller and rip up some of those weeds out in Grammy's garden. Oh yeah, we've got fuel, we're good to go. Just got all of this taken care of. I was able to run the rototiller up and down every row. It was a little tight at the top in the one section, so I wasn't able to get everything, but it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna do the lettuce. I'm not gonna do the old spinach. I'm not gonna do the onions. All this newer stuff here though is taken care of. This is gonna help them to grow, and it's gonna help to keep the weeds down, which will definitely help them to get more fertilizer and more water. Alrighty, we made it in for lunch today. It looks like we've got some pierogies. And we got a nice looking salad over here. A good lunch. Let's go, let's go. I heard you needed a ride. Let's go. This old man, I gotta take him back up. To the other tractor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I've got a few different jobs that are being taken care of this afternoon. We've got some tomatoes that are being staked out in the field. I know, kind of crazy coming from us. Dad is working on a few different things. Daniel is mowing pastures, and I am currently in greenhouse number 5, filling the dirt machine up with some soil. One of the last things we're gonna have to seed for this year is gonna be our late season cole crops, and I'm gonna be getting the trays filled up for that specific job. Got a whole bunch of cabbage that needs to be seeded, a whole bunch of broccoli, a whole bunch of cauliflower, and overall I'm gonna need 100 trays. And I'm gonna need quite a bit of soil. Turn the hydrant off. Got 31 trays filled up already. I thought I was doing, you know, increments of 10. Somehow I got 11. Dad came back from what he was working on and he was able to help me get the rest of the trays filled up. So we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 trays that need to go up into the germination greenhouse. Happy to get out of that greenhouse. It is very, very hot in there. Even though we got everything opened up, it doesn't change the fact that it's hot. So all these trays that we were bringing up to the germination greenhouse, they're gonna be for our cole crops, our last planting of cole crops. Dad got a whole bunch of cabbage tags put onto those trays, so we're gonna be putting cabbage into those. I'll update you guys as we go along, but as you can see, we're working outside because it's way too hot in that germination greenhouse. Dad and I just went through our first variety of cabbage. We got that all taken care of. Now we're gonna be finishing off with the cabbage. So we got 30 flats of Nixon cabbage, which that's about 3,000 heads of cabbage we're looking to get from that. And we got 20 more trays here. We've got Blue Vantage, Grand Vantage, Charlotte, and what else?
Quick start.
Quick Start. So we've got 4 other varieties of cabbage that we're gonna be adding to what we already got done with the Nixon. It's quite a bit, but that's what we need for late season fall harvest. Everything that I just watered, all 50 trays, is just about all our cabbage for our late planting. Very exciting. A lot of work is now done. It's just time to let it grow and eventually get it planted. I just got home and I was wrestling with Ronnie on the couch. Were we wrestling? And I was also wrestling with Lily and Callie. But now that we're home and we're pretty tired, we had our dinner. That means this is where we're gonna end the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.